Welcome. First, breathe with me and draw close. Tonight, we touch the root of every spiritual path, self-knowledge. It doesn't matter if this is your first time with me. Each meeting stands on its own, with its own beginning, turning point, and revelation. I open symbols, tell stories, and translate the invisible into everyday practice. Let me begin with an image I have taught for years. I speak of the traveler and the city by the coast. A wise one arrived by boat, lived among the people for 12 full seasons, and few noticed. Only when he stepped back onto the pier to depart did the city run after him, pleading, "Teach us before you go." Consciousness is born from contrast. We value water when the spring goes dry, color when shadow falls, life when death stands near. Hold this truth. We awaken when we realize what we were about to lose, including ourselves. To know yourself is to remember who you are before the labels. I teach that we each have a center. I call it the heart of light. That is not merely a muscle, but a direction. From there rises a stubborn intuition, a quiet knowing that insists there is something in you that does not die. No matter how the practical mind tries to reduce everything to what can be weighed and measured, this center whispers, "You are more." Do not fight that whisper. It is the trail. People ask me, "Sulamita, how do I prove the soul? What is its size, its color, its weight?" I smile and answer, "You are trying to pour the ocean into a teaspoon. The soul is a shoreless sea. Measuring the limitless with a ruler guarantees disappointment." Different worlds need different tools. For the outer world, the tape measure. For the inner world, listening and presence. What refuses numbers invites symbols, stillness, courage, and practice. Another lesson I teach without varnish. Do not say, "I found the truth." Say, "I encountered a truth." Revelations are lightning. They illumine the valley for an instant and reveal paths, but they do not walk for you. When the ego swells, it confuses a flash with dawn. Dawn is process, discipline, humility, repetition. A flash is an invitation, not a diploma. How do I walk then? Here is a compass I use with myself and those I guide. Know yourself and govern yourself. Know to recognize your resources. Govern to direct your forces. It's like having money in your pocket without knowing it. You remain hungry inside the marketplace. Self-knowledge is checking the pocket of the spirit, your virtues, talents, excesses, fears. Self-mastery is choosing where to spend, how to spend, why to spend, and when to save. Let me offer a symbol I carry into my readings. The soul blooms like a lotus of 1,000 petals. It doesn't grow like a narrow reed in a single straight line. It opens in many directions: compassion, courage, discipline, service, joy, justice, beauty. Each petal expands as you recognize the same spark in another. That's why I say fraternity is a symptom of self-knowledge. The more I know myself, the more I perceive that I and we are tenses of the same verb. The great ones of history were not those who amassed, but those who poured themselves out. The measure of a human being is the measure of their offering. I also teach about the seasons of the soul. We are always crossing an inner equinox, half turned outward, half invited to return within. A seed that never descends into the dark never bears fruit in the light. There is a healthy solitude, the cradle of insight, and there is isolation, the prison of the ego. The difference? After healthy solitude, you return to the world with fruit. After isolation, you return empty and irritable. If going inward makes you harsher, you locked yourself in. If it makes you more generous, you germinated. But where do I start? Take this practical route straight from my working altar. Daily silence, 7 to 12 minutes. Sit upright, breathe naturally. Place attention on the heart of light at the center of your chest. Ask without anxiety, what does life want to teach me today? Do not force an answer. Note any word or image that arises. 2 weekly inventories. Inventory of strengths. List 3 virtues that appeared in your actions: patience, clarity, courage. Inventory of shadows. List 3 impulses that hijacked you: haste, pride, avoidance. Do not blame. Thank the revelation. What is shown can be transformed. Simple vow of action. Choose one concrete behavior to train self-mastery over the next 48 hours. E.g., I will answer criticism without irony. I will end the day without endless scrolling. I will say no with respect. Write it. Keep it. Review it. Serve to expand. Once a week, practice a deliberate act of fraternity with no expectation of return. Mentor someone, offer your time, share a skill. Fruit feeds roots. Giving strengthens identity. Jewels ritual. Each time you have a flash, unexpected peace, wordless clarity, record it in 2 lines. Keep it in a small chest of paper. When doubt comes, reread. These jewels remind you the trail exists, even when fog covers the valley. Now I will touch a tender point: death. I have studied it in the light of spirit since early on, and I return to the same intuition. What we are in essence does not fit inside a coffin. The body is the glove, the hand is not. Love, awareness, deep memory, these do not vanish into nothing. That inner protest you feel when you lose someone is not childish stubbornness. It is a metaphysical compass. Honor it by living more presently, because it is here in the now that the soul teaches eternity. And what if I don't recognize myself? What if I'm afraid of what I'll see? I hold you. Looking within can bring vertigo. It is like turning around inside your own boat and facing the divine passenger who has traveled with you from the beginning. Respect is born there. Do not steer your boat into every swamp. When you respect yourself, respect for others follows, and the quality of your bonds changes. You stop handling shells and begin touching centers. Beware another trap: confusing intellectualism with wisdom. Degrees are metals of the mind. Wisdom is fruit shared. Knowledge that builds no bridges is polished vanity. Wisdom always ties threads between you and yourself, you and others, you and meaning. By the works you are recognized, and more importantly, you begin to recognize yourself. If I could compress all of this into a single sentence for you, it would be: live so that, when night falls, your soul recognizes your footsteps as the signature of your heart. It is simple and exacting. It asks for review, choice, and continuity. But it is liberating. I leave you with a commitment I propose in all my work. For 21 days, make a small pact to see yourself without masks. Daily silence. 2 inventories, 1 vow, 1 act of service, 1 recorded jewel, 21 dawns. Then tell me what changed. Do not promise something grand. Promise constancy. The soul is not convinced by speeches. It blooms through sacred routine. And if you arrive tonight feeling empty, know this: emptiness is not lack of things. It is lack of meaning. Meaning is born when root and fruit meet, inside and outside, silence and service, essence and gesture. When this dance begins, life stops being mere survival and becomes a path. I am Sulamita, and I speak from the authority of one who walks. The treasure in your depths is ready to rise. Do not place it on scales. Place it in your hands to offer. Do not declare, I have arrived. Declare, I am arriving, and walk. Each attentive step is a petal opening. Each worthy choice is the sea recognizing you as its drop. Now, if you wish, bring me your question. Let us turn shadow into map and intuition into practice. The road is here. The rest is courage.